First of all, kind of take me back to when you decided kind of before the season that, Iowa would be a good place for this year for you.
So I'd almost go back to almost when Clarissa got the job, and I remember her chirping in my ear like, "Hey, you could come to Iowa, you could come to Iowa." And at the time, I was at the training center where she was coaching, and I was like, at the time, my goals were Olympics and stuff like that. So I was like, no, that's not really an option for me. And so kind of put that kind of in the back of my head, and ended up going to UNC, training out there, went back to the training center, and had some surgeries in between there, and got ready for 2 Olympics in between her asking me and not. And she came out this summer to the training center just for a training camp, and I was like, hey, do you think I still have any eligibility? And she was like, we both were kind of like, are you serious? Are you joking? And then she looked into it. She found out I had a year left, and so I kind of just rolled with it. And I ended up coming out here after I was done helping Amit get ready for the Olympics, and literally got an apartment online, didn't even see it, just pulled up here, threw my stuff in the apartment, and I started school the next week. So everything was bang, 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 but I'm really grateful that I'm here. So.
What's kind of your biggest takeaway from this experience?
There's so many takeaways. Just being a part of a team. I think, in a way, I thought that college wrestling was below almost what I wanted to accomplish, but in reality, it's helping me in so many ways, on the mat, off the mat. It truly is making me a more well-rounded person. So I wish I would have done it sooner, that's for sure. But now that I'm here, it's truly helping shape me into who I want to be as a person and as an athlete, and I truly think that this is where I'm going to end my career and where I'm going to help other athletes get to where they want to be, and also this program keep raising the bar and raising the standard that we've already put in place here.
Obviously, you've had a lot of accomplishments before, but what would a collegiate national title mean to you?
I think it's the next thing in front of me, so of course, I think it's a silly question if you asked me if I wanted to win a national collegiate championship. So, but in between now and Saturday night, there's a lot of things that I need to do myself to get to where I am on the top of the podium. So, just taking care of those things on my end, and the winning will take care of itself.
When is the last time that you were on a team, in a team sport? You've obviously been on world teams and things like that, but is it going back to high school, going back to youth sports? Was it even wrestling?
Yeah, high school freshman year was the last time I was really on a team and competed with them. Of course, you got the world teams, but we all just come together and compete. We're not really on a team, I would say. So last time I actually competed and was around the culture of that team, it was my freshman year of high school. So
was that on the boys team?
Yeah.
In Wisconsin?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What have you guys kind of done as a whole team to get to this point this season and have so much success?
I think we do a really good job at feeding off of each other. We all know what each other we're really good at in certain spots. We know when to ask certain people for certain help, and our coaches are always there. We have a great support system. I think it's really just all of us coming together. We have a great team. We have a great culture. We have high standards for ourselves, and I think that's truly what makes us a championship team. Yeah.
What is in the last 2 weeks to kind of stay sharp and stay ready, knowing that this day on Friday and Saturday is kind of a little bit in the back?
Yeah, just kind of taking care of our bodies. We came off of regionals, and that first week back was just taking care of our bodies, and then kind of zoning in on some specific work that maybe we need to work on from regionals and stuff that came about. But other than that, it's just tapering. We've put in the work all year. Nothing really changes in a sense. Just honing in on our strengths and really just being who we are. That's what our coaches have been telling us all week. We don't need to be more than who we are. Just be who we are, and everything else will take care of itself.
Has there been a favorite moment for you over this past year?
I don't even think it's wrestling related. It's just being a part of a team and being able to meet new people, build friendships, relationships that really are going to be more than winning and losing. It's cool to see how our team comes together through the wins and the losses. I think that's what really shows our team. It's not the wins and the losses. Those are awesome, and they come with the fruits of our labor, but really it's all of us coming together at the end of a tournament. That's the stuff I'm going to remember. So.
How important is it having such a deep roster that Iowa has? You know, you have a lot of people that barely miss the cut to make regionals, but are keeping you guys sharp through training and practices. What is that like, having such a deep roster on a team, so much talent to keep you guys sharp?
Yeah, our coaches talked about that this week and really the weeks leading up to when we knew that we could only take 15. So the other 17 are just as important as the other 15. The other 17 are getting us ready. If the other 17 are off doing what they want, that's not good. So I think that's another strength we have is all 32 of us we're ready to go. We have, like you said, we have 17 other girls that are ready to step in if they needed to. And it stinks we can only take 15, but those 15 are going to be ready.
At the same time, with 5 extra girls for 10 weights, there's a lot of Hawkeye head-to-head we've seen throughout the whole season. How have you personally dealt with that, and how have you seen the team kind of handle when teammates do have to go up against one another?
It's different. I mean, for me personally, me and Reese is a returning national champ. Of course we're going to be competitive. We both want to win. So it's hard, but I think we've done a really good job at keeping that kind of stuff in the wrestling room, and when we're outside of the wrestling room and when we want to celebrate with our teammates, we're all going to come together and do that. It's not going to be one of us is having a pity party and the other one gets to celebrate. Me and Reese have wrestled twice this year, and that's never been the case. So same goes to, I think we've had maybe 2 or 3 other girls that have had to wrestle our teammates. So, and that's never the case. We're always cool after, and we want to celebrate together. We're a team. So, like I said, that's the cool thing about our culture and the standard we have. It's not about winning and losing. It's about getting each other better. Reese still has world team. We both have world teams we want to make this summer. This is just a step in the process.
Is it harder when you're so familiar and Reese is so familiar with you, kind of in those matchups?
I mean, for sure. I mean, we go out in these matches and we basically know what they're going to do. So, of course, each time it almost gets harder. It doesn't get easier to wrestle your teammate. And, of course, being your teammate, it's not any easier to go out and wrestle your teammates. So, it's definitely a challenge, but it's cool that those challenges present themselves, and I can take it as a challenge. She can take it as a challenge and go from there.
I asked a lot about Reese, obviously, as the returning champion, but a year ago it was her and Ella in the same position that you and Reese are now.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, what has Ella meant to you this season? What have you learned, and what has she brought out of you, especially given the fact that she was in the lineup here a year ago, and this go around she's one of the 17 that you mentioned that are just as important, but that aren't going to be competing this weekend.
Well, I think it just shows how deep our team is. I mean, we have a number 3 that has to stay home, and she was at the national tournament last year. I mean, that shows something right there. But she's in the room every day. She's pushing us. She's a training partner for not just me and Reese, but other girls on the team. And I hope this almost puts a little fire under her, and she knows where she needs to be, and she knows that she can be here next year. And I hope that's almost what it does. It doesn't derail her or bring her down. I hope it brings her up, and she wants to be here next year, and she wants to be competing for a national title.
Where do you think you've personally grown the most this season?
I think as a person, like I said, I think just balancing the student-athlete life has really just helped me become not only a better person, but a better athlete. They work hand in hand together. So me getting better as a person has helped me get better as a wrestler. So I think that's really helped. And then, of course, just being around like-minded individuals, whether that's my teammates, the support staff, my coaches, everything. Even the fans, it's just awesome to be in this Iowa culture. It's just different than anywhere I've ever been.
Good.